Boom. Proverbs 11. Without good direction, people lose their way. God hates cheating in the marketplace. Now, let's talk about that. Cheating in the marketplace. You ever cheated anybody out of anything, anytime, anywhere, any place?
I've been cheated.
Well, I know that, but have you cheated somebody? And you knew you should have done this, but you didn't?
You said Proverbs 12.
Oh,
11.
You ever been in a grocery store when they throw something on? This is before the computers and crap. I remember I used to have to say I didn't buy this and give it back to them. And it was somebody else. I've done that before. Have I ever cheated anybody? Yes, I have.
Everybody has them.
Even when I was a kid, I've done it before, you know. But that's just what they're talking about. Have you ever cheated?
And your heart condemned it, because like even yesterday I went to the grocery and I had this like thing that fell down the thing and I didn't pay for it. So one of the customer service said, hey, I didn't pay for this. It was only like $3, but I'm like, oh, I was going to leave. I'm like, nah, I shouldn't do that. You know, I should pay for it.
Yeah, it's.
So I wasn't always that way.
No, well, I've always had a sense of honor, but I've also been desperate for money. So it's easy to be high morals when you got something in your pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll leave it at that.
So Proverbs 11:1, which was written many centuries before Jesus
Oh yeah.
threw those guys out of the temple.
Yeah, over 3,000
Explains why
years
he
ago. Exactly. It's dishonesty. It's sin. It's absence of God. That's what he's talking about. God hates cheating in the marketplace. He loves it when business is overboard. Sir?
But Lord, you know, and I know, a lot of these cash businesses
Sure.
are being run by, who,
Unscrupulous people.
and they pay taxes on about 10 to 20 cents that comes in the drawer.
Yes.
But look at what they believe. Their character and their scruples are totally different. But it doesn't bother them one bit.
No, well, they've been raised that way. They've been taught that way. It's the subconscious mind has been programmed that way. If your religion, and I hate the word religion because I don't believe in religion, but if your belief system is based in God, then you know what you're doing. But you may choose to do it anyway, but at least you know. There are religions out here that expect you to do that, because that's
Sure.
it's based on. If it's not based in God and Jesus, then guess what? It's worthless. It's got no value in it whatsoever.
But in the real estate business I was in,
Yeah.
I've been screwed by Christians more than I have Jews and non-believers.
And attorneys. I got screwed out.
Well, they're professing to be Christians.
I've been screwed out of more
True.
money through doctors and attorneys than I have just normal folks. Because they don't expect to pay. They're above the payment. Or they're gonna pay when they want to, not when it's due.
Right.
And I got even with them. I knew how to do that. They didn't know who they were doing it with me, man. I'd take the check and put it down under the teller and say, when the money comes through, cash that for me.
That's true, you can do that.
And
A lot of people don't know.
You do what now?
He'd write me out a check, say for $5,000, and he would, they say, no, it's not good, it's not good. And I'd call him, and I'd take it down and give it to the head teller. And I'd say, as soon as the money comes in the account, cash that check.
Yeah. And you can call their bank and they'll tell you, say, I have a check for this amount,
Yeah.
or the funds available, and they'll tell you yes, just run down there and cash it.
Correct.
But I just left it with her, because I was too busy, because I was appraising everywhere. Man, I was doing 125 appraisals a month by myself. So and they'd do it. And they'd cash it. And I'd buy her flowers or candy or something, but I always had a good relationship with the bank.
That's great.
And they only tried a couple of times,
Well,
but I got even with them, see.
I worked for a guy I got out of coaching one time and selling golf carts for 8 months.
Oh, I remember that.
And traveling all over the southeast, and when I decided to quit, I came in and gave my 2-week notice, and the guy I worked for, he's a little Yankee from spoiled brat from Indiana. His mama bought him the business, and he owed me 25 grand in commission that I'd already earned. And I knew he was gonna screw me out of it some way or another. And so I went in and told him, he said, by God, you can just go today. I don't need no 2-week notice from you, anybody to do me that way or something. I said, well, give me my check and I'll walk out today, get my stuff and I'll go. I knew when he took that check, I went straight right around the corner to the bank and cashed it before he could call and cancel it. And I got my cash and went home, man. I never missed a paycheck when I got out of that business and got back into coaching.
It's awful. I mean, there's people like that.
I knew he was gonna close, you know.
Of course. But that's his heart.
Yeah, that's the way he did business.
Yes. Hallelujah. The stuck up fall flat on their faces. People that are stuck up fall flat on their faces. But down to earth people stand firm. And you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, we talked about it this morning, didn't we?
Yes, there are people that are stuck up and there are people that are fat. That's why Jesus always said, surround yourself by like-minded individuals. Be in harmony. That's where the energy flows.
Yeah, that's right, he did say that, didn't he?
Yeah, that's what he's talking about.
Where's that at?
I don't know. It's in the Bible.
Okay.
The integrity of the honest keep them on track. The integrity of the honest keep them on track. That means what? Morality, honesty. That's what your mom and dad's supposed to teach you when you're growing up. The deviousness of crooks bring them to ruin.
Yeah.
You know why? Because if you're a person that steals, you're going to steal more and more and more and justify it and more and more and more and more, and you cannot ever satisfy a thief, ever.
What they're doing is they're participating in a law of reciprocity.
Yes.
And it works just like gravity. It
Doesn't
doesn't matter whether you agree with it or not.
Right. It's got nothing to do with God.
It's gonna eat you up.
It's the law of reciprocity. Yes.
But see, the guys who stole from me, from that company, that was a Christian guy, and from the oil drilling that I did, I wasn't there to enjoy their reward, but I know it happened.
One way or another, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Who knows how they sleep at night, you know?
Right. Well, yeah,
But it's all built on greed.
it is.
See, everything's built, they're not putting Jesus first in anything, they're putting money first. It's called idolatry. And this, what comes around goes around? Yes, it's exactly right. A thick bankroll is no help when life falls apart. Doesn't matter how much money you got. If your life falls apart, you can't buy it. I'm sorry, money's great, and I'd rather have money than not, but it can't buy you satisfaction, it can't buy you love, you can't do any of those things. But a principled life can stand up to the worst. Principled life.
Standing on God's word.
Hallelujah. Principled word.
Well, hello, well, good afternoon.
Well,
Bird.
How you doing?
Big Well, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. You are correct.
Moral character makes for smooth travel. An evil life is a hard life. Why is an evil life such a hard life? We know a lot of evil people that are worth a lot of money. How can it be evil and be hard?
Because they're gonna reap what they're sowing.
They're gonna fall from their wickedness, because they're wicked, you know, they're evil and they're, all that stuff
Try
comes
to
back to haunt them, you know?
Keep all
And they have
that.
no peace, most of them.
Can't, because they're trying to keep all this in the air. I mean, all these lies and cheating and
Oh, yeah.
stuff. And you gotta tell a lie to cover a lie, and then you gotta tell another lie to cover that lie, and then you
Well, then you'll
get,
start believing your own lies.
absolutely. So, this is what we're talking about. You cannot have evil in your heart and do business. You don't believe me? Ask Bill. You can't,
Yeah, oh, yeah,
because what you plant is what you're gonna get.
yeah.
And I don't care, and it doesn't have to be money. You can plant evil and they'll take it away from you either mentally, physically, socially, financially, or even spiritually. But that's where the deficit comes from. It can be in one place or all five of them. So, am I warning you? No, I'm just telling you the way it is. You get to choose. I can't choose anything for you, but I can point out your choices. Good character is the best insurance. Crooks get trapped in their sinful lusts. And it doesn't have to be sex to be a sinful lust. It could be money, it could be education. There are education whores everywhere. I've met them all through life. I got a PhD, I got a YOU, so what? That isn't, just, sometimes it tells me you're overeducated for your intellect. But,
Or did your dad say you never amount to anything, so you become successful and become a workaholic?
Yeah, sacrifice your life.
Yeah.
To be successful. We've been there, all of us have been there before, and it's not worth it, man. You don't have to work hard. You work smart within the parameters that God has given you. Why come you think Solomon was so wealthy? He was the wealthiest man that's ever been or ever will be. Screwed up heavily with his girls, friends, and it cost him a lot. A good person is saved from much trouble. A bad person runs straight into it. Did you know most bad people sabotage themselves when they're successful? Because they don't believe they deserve it.
They don't believe one.
They don't believe they deserve it. Their ego gets in there and say, you're not worthy of this, and we've got to take this away from you. Well, the only person can do that is you.
Yeah, good people sabotage themselves too.
Oh, yeah.
They feel
Because of
like,
ego.
they feel like
Yeah.
they've advanced too far for their self-esteem.
Oh, yeah.
I
Well, the
mean,
Jim Richards conference we went to, there was a comment he made that's true that says, if your heart will only allow you to become as successful in a relationship, in a business, as you believe. So if you become more successful in that, you either have to change the beliefs of your heart,
Right.
or you got your beliefs of your heart will drag you back down to where
that's the
the
subconscious
situation
mind,
lies.
that's
Oh, yeah.
where it comes from. But yeah, he uses his heart physics
Oh, yeah.
to describe the subconscious mind, but that's what, yes. You're only as good a person that your subconscious mind says you are.
That goes back to identity,
It
right?
goes all the way back to the womb. It's where you're pre-programmed, and most of it's false. It's set up on emotion. 70% of everything that you record up until the age of 7 is fear. It's based in fear. 70%. And you quit programming the subconscious after 7. It's wild. It's amazing. The foundation that's built because of the child. It's incredible when you get into that stuff.
Well, I can believe that, because kids that I had, the time they were 8th or 9th graders, I could sort of kind of tell what kind of backgrounds they had been raised in out of fear, because their mama, they raised in a one-parent family where the mama threatens them all the time if they don't shut up or if they don't do this, and they're constant.
Oh, yeah.
And that's just, and you do that and they do that. It's obvious that they've been raised on fear.
Yes.
And that, not with no love in the family.
And we're
Slapping them around at the store when they screw up.
And we've all been based in fear. All of us have been raised with some fear. Because our parents didn't know any better, and that's the way they were trying to correct us through fear. And it don't work. It didn't work for me. It won't work for anybody. But I understand why they do it, because, some of these little knotheads need their ass kicked.
Well, what it does, it leads to gang activity, and because they're looking for somebody to give them some warmth and love.
Look, yes.
And they'll do anything. They'll drive-by shoot and kill a kid in the back seat to sleep, man.
Yes.
It's like happened the other day,
Yes.
just on a gang.
What do you think how the women got the vote? How'd they do that? It wasn't because they marched up and down. The Democrats gave it to them because a woman will sacrifice her freedom for security.
Yeah,
And they knew they'd vote Democrat because the Democrats promised them. That's where welfare came from. It wasn't anything about this vote thing and you're equal, that's crap. So if you ever hear some broad sit up there and say, "Ooh," go away. You're full of it. It's not why it happened. Go look in history. Read. The Democrats gave them the vote.
yeah.
And they're using the same formula today. It ain't changed.
Hey, that train that's coming from Honduras up through Mexico to come to the border of America, they're expecting to come across that border because they've been promised by somebody that they can come in and live here for free and get on the dole.
Yes. And the Californians are bankrupt
Yeah.
because of it.
Yeah.
Let's see. A good person saves.
What verse is it?
We're,
'Cause
good character is the best insurance. Crooks get trapped in a sinful lust. That was the last one. That was 6.
6.
7. When the wicked die, that is, their story over. End of hope. Period. The end. So when you die without being born again or a savior, it's over. Your spirit's still alive. And your soul is still alive. But it's not communing with Jesus or the Father. That means you go to hell. That's the way it works. A good person is saved from much trouble. A bad person runs straight into it. A loose tongue of the godlessness spreads destruction. A loose tongue, gossip. Gossip is what? Sin. And what sin do? It's an energy vampire. It sucks energy out of you, from your life force. And without life force, you die. So if you're in the gossip train, get off. Women are really bad about being gossipers because they want to know more and more and more, and it's all built on emotion. I know men that way too, but there's more women than men that are like that.
Well, let me tell you something too. People put their name on a prayer list at the church, sometimes becomes a gossip column.
Well, of course it is, and it's worthless anyway, and it won't do any good.
And,
That's stupid.
You know, I warn people about that all the time when they ask for prayer requests. They want me to pray for them. I said, now you talking about, this is just between me and you, right? I'm not gonna put you on a list, or I'm not gonna put you out here on, you know, cause I know what's gonna happen. Somebody's gonna start asking, well, what happened to her, you know?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And it's all turns into a gossip deal. And
Sure, well, that's what it's for.
You mean the chain?
the chain.
The chain prayer.
Yeah, yeah.
And every time somebody prays the same prayer over and over and over again, times 1,000, what's that telling you? It ain't gonna happen.
Every Sunday, we have a big board this woman sets up, you know, prayer, who's on his prayer request. There ain't nobody prays for those people after they leave that day.
Of course not.
But 10 times that day, somebody will ask somebody else about what happened to them. Oh, I didn't know that. You know, it just turns into a gossip thing. I very seldom ever tell anybody anything about somebody asked me to pray for them.
Somebody asked me to pray for them, and it's death kind of prayer. I said, do you believe Jesus has healed you? And if they can't say yes, I don't pray for them, because it's worthless.
And be careful who you let pray for you.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
You don't want anybody praying unbelief over you.
and who you let lay your
Which is
hands
what-
on.
Unbelief.
Anytime you ask Jesus to do something, anything, that's unbelief. He's already done it all.
Bill,
Celebrate and do
you
stuff.
can't get unbelief. It's not a contagious disease. If you believe it, it doesn't matter.
Oh,
You
yeah.
wouldn't let them touch you anyway. But I'm
If you're around those people, yeah.
That's why he said,
Those-
like-minded
the energy
individuals.
vampires. That's what he said last
Like-minded
week.
individuals.
That's a
Yes.
great saying, energy vampires.
Yes, they are.
Yeah,
And it's up to you to stop it.
Yeah.
But don't worry about unbelief, because if you ain't got any, you can't.
Oh, yeah.
The loose tongue of the godlessness speaks destruction, because they're words. It's negative energy. The common sense of a godly preserves them. Common sense of the godly. God-like. In God. Be God. You are part of God. Jesus loves you. God loves you as much as he did Jesus. You got all that? You see what I'm saying? That's who you are, if you believe it. When it goes well for the good person, the whole town cheers. They're celebrating, in from the beginning. This is what you always hear me say, in from the beginning, in from the beginning. Why? Because it's already done. You celebrate it. This is you accepting the outcome of the end from the beginning, what you believe. You're celebrating. You're in harmony. You're not in disharmony. See that? You become one. When it goes badly for bad people, the town celebrates. Told you so. You've heard that. My wife loves to say, told you so, told you so. And that's not good. That's gossip, is where that comes from. And I don't do that anymore. I used to, but I don't anymore. So be careful. Yes, you can be right and still lose the war. Every word, every thought is subject to you. Did you know that? Did you know every thought is not of positive energy affects you?
Mhm.
That's the doorway to your heart, is the thoughts.
Every thought. If it's in negative energy is coming from that thought, if it's in fear, which is negative energy, it sucks the life force out of you. Every thought.
Get rid of it, send it away.
You have to.
It's like writing a check for your bank account.
It is.
Every thought
it
is
is a sheep.
What's that?
Wonder if it is a sheep.
It could be.
Do you get rid of it?
It all depends on how much you're willing to pay. You get, depends on you. It's,
I did.
Yeah, you did. Took you how many years, but you got it done. Hallelujah, finally. But no, I don't mean that. That's not true. But yes, I did it 4 times. Still didn't get it right. So
Normally the it is you.
it's always,
It's not somebody else.
Yeah, that's right. It's always-
It's me, yeah.
Oh, you want to switch it on me?
Oh, of course,
Oh,
yeah.
I see. Oh, it's all.
look,
Don't
I got it.
expect your happiness to be from another person.
it can't come from that.
Jesus.
Because most people don't love themselves, and if you don't love yourself, you can't love anybody else. You can't share that love. And you may love them because of whatever, but look, it's real simple. I love every person that God's ever created. Some of the people, I don't like their lifestyles, and I tell them so, which I shouldn't, but hey, every homosexual that's ever been a homosexual, God loves him just as much as he does us. But he doesn't like their lifestyle, because it's an abomination of what he teaches. Can a homosexual go to heaven? Good question. I don't think so. If he doesn't change, I just don't see that, because he's not putting God first. And that's what I see. Everybody has to make up their own mind about that. But you can't worship God and put him first and go home to your lover, Bob.
It's a tough one though, right?
Sure it is. Like I said, that's just me, my personal opinion. I'm not, it's an individual decision.
That's not preacher talk.
No, that's low.
That gets over in the messing area. It's just like when they said, what about Danny Britt's mother? She was the most righteous woman I ever knew, but she died of cancer. And I said, well, she didn't believe.
Simple.
Well, that's just like saying homosexuals won't go to heaven. It's like, what do you mean she didn't believe? Well, the proof's in the pudding. She's dead. She
It has
died
to
too early.
be. It has to be that she didn't believe.
Yeah, and cancer is not a disease, it's a symptom. So it's not even a disease.
The way I always say it, they said, you mean they didn't have enough faith? And I said, I don't know about that, but they had a lot of unbelief.
You can't measure faith anyway. You either got it or you
That's a
don't.
good way to put it.
We all have enough faith.
You already have the faith that Jesus had.
We just don't use it. Some don't.
It's
Because Jesus gave us his faith.
Yeah.
Bam!
Mustard seed,
a measure of faith,
that's right.
a gift, not of your own.
Right.
And that's the measure,
That's
not a
exactly
measure.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
If you'll get that down.
And the switch that enables it or disables it, spoken about in Philemon 1:6.
Yes.
Knowledge you never
Now,
get.
good things in you. Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
bingo.
There's only 6 chapters, you fill them all.
Right. 6 verses.
Verses. Yeah, one-
Yeah, I don't know why I say one, because there is no, there's just one.
Yeah, there's only one.
Anyway.
Let's see, when right living people bless the city, how many times do you bless the city? It flourishes. Evil talk turns it into a ghost town in no time. That's why our blessings are very important,
That's
believe it or
true.
not. I mean, most of you guys, but it is.
Us recreated guys, we have a lot of power behind our blessings.
We have the power that created the universe behind it. That's that simple.
And I use it on my grandchildren all the time.
And I've talked to you guys about this before, years about
And your
it.
spouses and
Oh,
kids,
absolutely.
yeah.
That's why
Bless them, no curse.
if you want your kid to grow up and love God and be a good kid, they're gonna make wrong decisions because they live in a world and they're programmed partly by the world. But that doesn't mean that they're not gonna, at the end, they're gonna have the belief system that they're gonna put God first.
Right, you're right.
And if they've got a good foundation, which 6 years is all you get to build that foundation. Because a kid's gonna live off of what his subconscious mind. Because it runs at 95% of the time. Did you know that? Your subconscious mind.
It's sad, because it's hard to reprogram that.
Well, you can, and,
Very difficult.
Only if you believe it's difficult.
well, we're
That's
talking,
how life is.
That's right, you're right.
That's, of course, that's what.
Well, he's saying 95% of it's set in stone in the first 6 years, and you're saying all you gotta do is believe, know that you believe differently.
that's the starting point.
Here's a thought. There's a word called mindfulness. In mindfulness, one of the definitions is that it's the rising awareness of paying attention with strong purpose to the now.
Amen, brother.
So
That's
to
it.
change all of anything, we got to have rising awareness with strong intention of the now, and that we're right in the now, because nothing happens over here, over there. And when you get in the now, you get in the flow, and then all of a sudden nothing distracts you because you get out of the way of the distractions and get over here by yourself, so you can be in the now. Then you can do all this creative stuff, and you can do all this powerful stuff because you have all these virtues of God in you. But you got to get away from you have to isolate yourself so that you can have rising awareness by paying attention with strong purpose of the now.
Is that what you do by defracking in the morning?
Defragging is a little bit different, but it's easy. It's great at 4 a.m. where nobody's out there except me and Jackson to walk in the grass and have a meditation going and have have a rising awareness. Every one of Jim Richards' meditations, when you come out of it, they come with the 5 things, you listen to them and say, I'm becoming more
Right.
aware.
That's right.
I'm becoming more aware of these virtues in me. I'm becoming more aware about how to live. So awareness in your mind helps you line up with your heart and your subconscious, your stuff that's good that's in there, and be able to exercise it as you go down the path. When Lloyd's laughing all the time because I talk to him about how I'm becoming more like him in that I'm becoming less desirous to be around anybody. I want to be by myself, sitting up in my tower, talking to the creator of the universe, and then directing the flow from there, and not having the flow trying to direct itself on me.
Yeah, no distractions.
See, you brought that up. Lloyd and I were talking about that last week when we were here by ourselves, that there was an Indian name, I read Western novels. Remember that Indian name I was talking about? I thought, that's me, and that's Lloyd. And it may be you too, Ron. The Indian name was Man Who Rides Alone.
Yeah.
I thought, that's me.
So that's what you're talking about, the harmony with the spirit of being able to get that focus down
Let me put it
and not be distracted.
Yeah. Let me put it in monetary terms. This, for all businessmen. But the creator said, okay, he just added a 5th deal. So I got 5 deals to do this year. And the total amount of money to be raised for those 5 deals is $60 million by December 31st. And they're all different. And a guy was talking to a guy yesterday, and he said, are they all conservation deals? I said, no, there's just one of them. But anyway, he said, I want you to be mindful, to have a rising awareness by paying strong attention to delivering the energy into the whole, everything, because that's where it all happens. It happens by bringing it from the unseen into the seen. It doesn't happen by making phone calls and doing this and doing that. That's just the way to walk it through. But it happens by going into the unseen, harmonizing with the Creator, and energizing all that $60 million. So what he said today was, we're not just going to beam love into the money, love energy, and this is all energy, but we're going to start beaming into the money, that $60 million, life and light as well as love. We're going to beam into that money righteousness, peace, and joy. We're going to beam into that money hope, faith, and power. And that money's sitting there in control of men, and it's vibrating, and the men are just going to start saying, I got to do this, and I got to do this, and it's got to go here, yeah. And they become peaceful and joyous and full of energy about delivering the money where it needs to go.
That's the virtues of God he's talking about.
Mhm.
There's 9 of them, okay. But that's what he's doing, he's putting the virtue
And
of
that's
God.
the 60 million.
into
Now, the gold is a teeny bit different, but it's the wealth of the wicked, and it's coming out.
It's already out, brother.
But it's,
Already out.
Well, see, think about this. If $1 million is in the hands of the wicked and it starts vibrating to him, all of a sudden he says, he gets real peace about, I got to put this over here.
And then they scratch their heads and say, why did I do that?
And then the return comes and they say, oh, I know I did that.
but some of those people that control that are gonna have a change of life, because they're gonna see for the first time, if they do this and give you 50 million over here out of a fund, they're gonna find a joy that they've never had about doing business.
Exactly,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
And they're gonna want more,
Yeah.
and they're gonna expect more.
Yeah.
Yes, and they're gonna have to give you more.
They're gonna have to make more to give you more.
Yeah, that's true.
But see,
That's true.
this
He
is
has
God,
favor.
this is the principle of God. It's all based in love.
These guys, I still really don't know them yet. But last year they contacted me and said, would you be our mining partner and do this deal? And that was the Econfina conservation deal. And so we did it. And they said, we really like the way you did this. Let's do it again this year. And so now this year, I'll be making 3 times the amount of money that I made last year. No, not 3 times. Let's see, it'll be 12 times the amount of money made last year in this deal. And they've set it up. They just do everything. I still don't really know them that well. It's just been a favor thing.
It's,
Favor.
you walk in favor.
It's favor.
Look, you're favored, you're blessed, you're highly favored. You can go on, I am.
And what the
And
word-
if you declare that over and over and over, that's how you rewrite your subconscious mind.
you know, when
And it's like Jim said about identity, knowing who you are.
Oh, absolutely.
But it's like for money, when you have money in the bank and you write a check, let's say you have $5,000 of the government, you owe $5,000, you write $5,000 check, you're broke. But if somebody gives you $5,000, then you have money in the bank. Every thought you have, because it says from the overflow of your heart, your mouth will speak, and you shall have whatsoever you say, as long as you're in doubt. So every time you have a thought, if you bitch cuss your wife or you cuss the guy in traffic, you're writing a check of energy out of your body.
Yes.
And you're like, and then you feel like shit. But then every time you write a deposit, which is love, because that's the language of God, then you're full of energy and you'll get more done. You'll have all this unlimited energy and stuff, But it's up to you.
Every action or reaction that you commit, as long as you're in this flesh and blood body, you have to use energy to do
Yeah.
it. If you just sit there like a bump on a log, you're still using energy. Because you're balanced, what you're thinking. It's all about energy. Look, we're children of the light, the sun. We're also subject to water and electromagnetic energy. That's what we're made up from. Photon energy from the sun. Water replenishes our body. You cannot live without water. You can live without food for a long time, but you can't live without water. And we're subject to electromagnetic energy. Why? Because our whole body, that's what we run on, is electricity. So that's what you're subject to, period. Now, that's just the gasoline that runs the motor. But what about negative thoughts? Well, then that disrupts the communication from sun, water, and electromagnetic energy. And that comes from disruption of negative energy or fear.
Yeah.
And you can pick that up from watching the tube, looking at a billboard, listening to your wife, TV commercials, it doesn't matter. Just walking down the hall and people are talking. If you'll listen, do this for me. When you're down and you're surrounded by people, listen to what they're saying. Listen to them.
It's amazing.
And
You're right.
95% will be negative.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be in fear.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
And guess what all that negative energy's doing? It's going into you.
Yeah.
And we don't even think about it. But then it goes back into the subconscious. Because our conscious mind only runs 5% of the time. That's it. And it can only bring in 40 bits of information per second. Subconscious mind runs all the time, other than the 5%. And it takes in 40 million bits of information every second.
I've been doing a word study for myself on the word ignore. Ignore, and I've been ignoring offenses. And the best place for me to get offended is when I'm driving. So many idiots out there. Ignore. And Jesus, that's what he told us to do. He ignores offenses.
Yes.
We need to know when I'm listening to a commercial, if by chance the commercial comes on and I didn't click it, mute fast.
Yeah, but you being a pilot, you were trained to ignore what exactly to keep you alive is right there in front of you.
Well, the opposite of that is not, well, that's true. It's to focus on one thing only, and ignore everything else. But that's true, that's just training. I mean,
Focus on Jesus, that's right.
Right.
But
So it's the same thing for us as Christians, and we got to narrow it down.
same
Narrow
principle.
it down.
But it's like Lloyd says, you can't not hear the negative.
That's true.
Because we live in a world where it exists, where Luciferian doctrine actually rules.
Yes,
But we can ignore the Nebuchadnezzars.
absolutely. You get to choose. You get to choose.
The
Yes.
yours.
Yeah, yes.
Obamaites, all those knuckleheads.
I go to cardiac rehab and I hear all these people, you know, they say all these things like, I'm so tired. I said, you know, the reason you're so tired? And they said, what? And I said, it's because you say you're so tired. You go have what you say, and they kind of look at
They
you.
push back on that.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
And then they go do something else, you know. But I said, the whole thing, the whole challenge is coming out of your mouth.
Amen, brother.
And they just don't want to hear it.
If you were to say this to
That's
them,
just kind of like,
they would go nuts. You say, you're never going to get well from what you're here for until you can see yourself well first.
Yeah. I used to complain and moan all the time and bitch, and I was miserable, you know? Because I was great that way. I got a buddy now, who you met Phil, you know, he's been here a couple times. you know?
Yeah.
Phil.
He's finally figured it out.
Potato
Guess what?
chip.
He's not willing to change yet, but he finally said, hey, you know what? I don't see him that much anymore, but we had lunch and he was like, yeah, you know, I finally figured it out. The reason my life's fucked up is because all the decisions I made and the beliefs I had, it's myself. I'm like, yeah, that's right.
Was that Phil who was here last week?
He was there a couple of, yeah.
Yeah.
So now,
But he's not-
I said, so what are you gonna do about it?
Yeah.
He's like, well, I think I'm gonna change. I said, okay, well, it's up to you.
Well, he did. He changed it in here, or I wouldn't have let him stay.
Yeah, because he was, but at least he knows, because usually we're ignorant, and we don't know that, like, every cuss word you say about somebody, your wife or your kid or whatever, you know, every negative thing you say, it's not affecting them as much as it affects you.
That's right.
You know, but then once you realize it, then I have a choice. Do I want to believe, like my shoulder, I was playing tennis 3 or 4 days a week and worked out, messed up my shoulder, you know. So I was like speaking of the pain and go away and then come back again. So I was talking to Lloyd and Lloyd says, well, you're focused on the pain, man. So I'm just focusing on the fact that it's been healed and celebrating and having fun.
And from the beginning, not the symptom.
Yeah.
Say, we're symptom oriented.
Yeah.
We take a pill because we hurt.
Yeah.
Well, that's a symptom. That's what caused the pain.
Oh, yeah.
See, that's what you look for. You look for the beginning and then celebrate the end. That's what Jesus.
And most people will,
Right.
would rather
Rather
believe in negative than
Yes,
positive.
yeah, I want a pill. I don't want to listen to you. Give me a pill.
I don't want to keep talking, but I noticed this the other night in the playoff of the NCAA game. The coach from Villanova versus the coach from Michigan. Me being a former coach, you kind of pick out these sayings and these things when they're interviewed before the game and then after the game. The guy from Villanova built his players up And this white kid, this kid that was the most valuable player, he kept telling about how fantastic he is, how hard he worked, how great a kid he is. And over here on the Michigan guy said, well, our guys just didn't work hard, you know, they just didn't understand. You know, we didn't execute, you know, it was all just why we lost.
It wasn't about him.
It wasn't.
It was about the players. No, it's the coach.
That's right.
It's always.
But the guy from Villanova was fantastic about what he said. He didn't take any credit. He kept building everybody. The school is great. You know, we got great, you know, it's just, and
That's positive. See, that's
It is.
reinforcing the positive. That's in love.
but he's got the best program right now in college basketball. He's won 2 out of the last 3 years, won the national championship in a Catholic school, you know.
Well, even Debo Sweeney, when Clemson won the national championship, he said, our kids are all based in love.
Yeah.
Like, how many coaches, you know, in football would say that?
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay, when right living people bless the city, it flourishes. We're not blessing Atlanta because it's not flourishing the way it should be. Evil talk turns.
But why though?
Because we don't. Evil talk turns it into a ghost town in no time. We don't bless the city. We listen and bitch and moan about how many people are here and their needs outweigh your wants, so they drive crazy. And that's true. But we're not blessing them. See, we're one of the problems. We keep bitching and moaning about it and telling, yes, it's true, but it's evil.
Well, if everybody sees the news at night, well, Channel 5 has 5 killings and
Why don't watch
Channel
the
11 has 11 carjackings, you know.
Turn it off.
But that's why they don't ever play, you don't ever hear anything good about
Let's do that. I quit watching it.
You have power.
Yeah, I quit watching it.
Evil sells. They're there to make money. It's not about the news, it's about the money. Look, TV news is 24 hours behind anything. You know, it's already happened. Well, you can turn on instant TV and get it now. But don't, because it doesn't matter. Is that helping you any? No, it's not. Look, you can have what you say.
I'll say what you.
Say what you have. And that's what we're doing. But that's gossip. That's just another form of gossip. When, you know, there's 5 killings here and there's there and I live here and blah, 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 blah. But you're planting a garden. And it's either going to be seeds or weeds. You get to choose about what comes out your mouth. What's in your mind. Hallelujah. Mean-spirited slander is heartless. Quiet discretion accomplishes good sense. A gadabout gossips. A gadabout gossip cannot be trusted with a secret. But someone of integrity won't violate a confidence. So if you want to tell a blabbermouth a secret, sorry. Without good direction, people lose their way. The more wise counsel you follow, the better your chances. Whoever makes deals with strangers is sure to get burned. If you keep a cool head, you'll avoid rash bargains. Just because it sounds good doesn't mean it is good. A woman of gentle grace gets respect, but a man of rough violence grabs for loot. When you're kind to others, you help yourself. When you're cruel to others, you hurt yourself. Simple, basic rules.
Law of reciprocity.
That's it, bro.
Right.
Hallelujah. Bad work gets paid with a bad check. Good works gets solid pay. Take your stand with God, loyal, community, and live. Or chase after phantoms and die an evil death.
Oh, in the Amplified it says, but he who pursues evil, attains his own death.
Because he got exactly what he wanted.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
God can't stand deceivers. That's a liar. But how he relishes integrity. Count on this, the wicked God won't get off scot-free. And God's royal people will triumph. And that may be at death. You know, they may live a rich life and all this and get all the luxuries and all the women and all the drugs and the booze and all that, like
Cars.
we're talking about, it doesn't matter. But guess what?
Planes?
One time, they're gonna die. The body goes back to dirt. And if you live a life like that, you ain't gonna live to be 100. It'll be 60 or 70, you're going right in there. Because the body's not made or designed to go through that kind of crap. And then, what happens? See, we're all eternal beings. Everybody that's ever been born of a woman is eternal. Doesn't matter if you believe or not, you're still eternal. And that life, that spirit, and that soul, who you believe you are, lasts forever. It doesn't die. Like a gold ring in a pig's snout is a beautiful face on an empty head. I married a couple of those. The desires of good people lead straight to the best, but a wicked ambition ends in angry frustration. Because if you've got ambition and it's built into the wicked and the false and the evil and the lies, you will never be fulfilled, because you can't fulfill ambition with falsehoods. Can't do it. The world of the generous gets larger and larger. Hallelujah. The world of the stingy gets smaller and smaller.
Yep, and that's a law.
Yes.
Yeah.
The one who blesses others is absolutely blessed. Now, if you send out a blessing, it's absolute.
Yeah.
Or a curse, depending on the individual. Those who help others are helped. If you ever help somebody, somebody's going to offer you help. Curse on those who drive a hard bargain. Blessing on all those who play fair and square.
Fair.
The one who seeks good finds delight. The student of evil becomes evil. Life devoted to things, a life devoted to things is a dead life, a stump. God-shaped life is a flourishing tree. Exploit or abuse your family and end up with a fistful of air. Common sense tells you it's a stupid way to live. I told my father that once and he clubbed me. A good life is a fruit-bearing tree. A violent life destroys souls. That's terrible. A soul is forever. If good people barely make it, what's in store for the bad? So, guess what? There's no such thing as almost good.
Oh, wait a minute. So there's no such thing as purgatory?
No, there's not. And you can't buy your way out either, so. I'm sorry if the Catholic religion tells you that is wrong. There is not. There's either heaven or there's not. You get to choose. And you can be the rottenest SOB that's ever walked this earth and you can still choose heaven and get there. See, God died for all sins, from everybody. So you can make a deathbed confession, but the only problem with that is you may not get to be the deathbed to confess. You may get killed or something could happen to you
You
before
may
the
get dead
confession.
before you get into bed.
Yes, yeah. So I don't rely on that. I never was much of a gambler anyway. I don't like to gamble because the chances are you're going to lose. Although, you know, Las Vegas was built by stupidity.
Yeah, you can't beat the
Yeah.
gamer by his game.
No,
Yeah.
betting on a cone. It's not good. Hallelujah.
I was at, you know, I try to go into every store. What I've learned is to deposit like a lot.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
So I'm sitting there eating my breakfast this morning, and this lady walked by, looked like her son. She was an old lady. And I kind of smiled at her. She smiled. She said, "Do I know you?" And I said, "Well, you probably know Jesus that's in me." And she smiled. And she said, "Man, I needed that." And I said, "I could tell just by your smile that you know Jesus." And she said, "I needed that."
Amen.
So it's just amazing when you go into anywhere and just
Yeah.
release that love that's there
Yeah.
in us. You know, it's there and it just permeates the room.
Yes, it does. That's the only thing that I know is there's no defense against, is love. Nothing can destroy love.
No law against it.
Zero.
So it's really neat to do that, just go into a room and just, you know, really release it and just watch what
Oh,
happens.
yeah, it's
You
great.
know, it's just great just to, people think you're kind of loony sitting over there smiling, you know.
How many times you see a church and somebody stands up and says, "God love them, bless them, Lord, give them a blessing." You know, I don't ever, I got booted out of a church one time for that, but, yeah, there's not that going on anymore, and it should be. That's why I send life, light, and love to every one of you guys and to every cell in your body. Now, it's your responsibility to receive it.
I received.
You know, did I tell you the deal when I was reading about the guy that was seeing Jesus, and Jesus took him to the Salt Lake Flats. And this is in a dream or vision. And he showed him what his prayer life's like. So the atomic bomb went off. And they're all looking at the mushroom cloud. And Jesus said, "Don't focus on that. Focus on down what's below. The sound waves, the energy waves going out." He said, "This is the effective way of your prayers. That you're sending energy and sound waves out that's just mowing down stuff or going into stuff. And it doesn't make any difference how far away it is." So he's saying, this is how powerful your prayer life is.
And don't pray for anything.
Right, he just said,
Well, everybody
That's it.
does that. They want to
Yeah,
pray
yeah.
for something.
right.
And they want to put you on a wheel, and you pray at 1 o'clock, and you pray at 1:30, and you're shooting yourself in the head. It has no power whatsoever. That one puts that board up, that prayer board, it's a waste. There's no power in it. It's a function.
Looks good though.
Oh, yeah. It's a hoop that you
She
jump
gets
through.
credit for
Yeah,
it.
she gets credit.
Oh, yeah, God's gonna bring her closer. Oh,
You
yeah.
look at the unseen and it looks like crap. So that's where you want to look, is in the door.
But it's,
You tell them to look in the unseen and they think, what does that mean?
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
most people would close their eyes and say, "Am I there?" Well, yeah, because they don't understand. You guys know what he's talking about.
This was pointed out to me last week, earlier this week, that when Jesus used parables, he was requiring us to use our imagination.
Yes. He was telling
Isn't that the neatest thing?
He was telling you a story.
That's right.
Yeah, that's what parables
That's
are,
good.
story.
Yeah.
And he gave us imagination, just like he gave us faith. He made it.
Yes.
It's why the book is always better than the movie. Usually better.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's
It is, yeah.
Yeah, you can take
That's why thinking about the first date was better than the first date. Sorry. Good
No,
job.
that's not why I'm shaking my head. Hallelujah. You guys have any more questions? Any questions at all? We've had a good discussion. We've read the whole thing, and we got about 5 or 10 minutes left. So, any questions, anything? Nothing? Zero? Nada? Nothing? You're that smart, all of you? I just don't believe it.
I've taken what we've said today. How are we gonna change the attitude of a negative liberal country?
It takes a group of people to celebrate the end from the beginning. And the more people you get, the more powerful you are. Why? Because of unity.
See, I think a lot of people that are praying for this country, wishing for this country to become a more conservative country and be back like it was, where we obey the law and we obey the Constitution. We see a guy that's up there at president is not a politician and he's not as smooth as could be, and everything he says is not religious and hunky-dory and warm fuzzies and all that. He's a builder, developer, hard-nosed businessman.
Yes, and that's what the people wanted.
That's what they voted for to put in office. And 90% of the people that criticize him are the typical politicians, political correctness thing. They don't understand. When he just gets crusty, hard-nosed, they don't understand that that's the way sometimes things have got to be, even in God's world.
They're afraid. So he's taking their life away from them. And they're afraid, they're in fear. That's why the Democratic Party is crumbling, because there's nothing there but hate and fear.
And division.
It is,
And most of the Republicans are the same way.
they're getting worse.
But that's good.
Rather than better.
But that's what it's supposed to do, because guess who the people are going to elect? Whoever Donald Trump asks them.
What, say it again?
I said, because the people are going to elect the senators, congressmen that Donald Trump approves of. They're looking for his permission, his approval.
Well,
Yeah, well, let me finish,
okay.
Mr. Attorney. You might not want to, but you're an old school. I'm talking about the young people. They need a leader. They got nobody. Nobody's teaching them nothing. They got no foundation. And what do you think? They're running and playing with Play-Doh and sucking on their dog in some safe room. And these are college students. Colleges are teaching communism, godliness.
Yeah.
You know that as a teacher. These people need a direction. Are the masses asses? Yeah, they're a bunch of sheep. Well, Donald Trump can be somebody that can direct them. He's not asking to be their leader. He just says, listen to me. Judge me by what I'm doing. And that's what he's doing. Now that's because he's bringing more jobs. He's decreased the income tax. He's doing exactly what Obama
Decrease crime.
didn't do it. Yes, the black folks are
Increase safety.
higher.
Increase well-being.
But you mentioned that to these liberal folks. They
Well,
they don't even, that just goes on.
They're being exposed, and they are so afraid of the
Fear.
exposure.
But that's fear.
They're being
But like, why are you even worried about this shit? Like,
I ain't worried about
so,
that.
like, if you spend 1 iota its energy, you're spending all this, any one
Well, I'll tell you why.
on
Because we're
why don't these
compassionate
liberal
about the people
people
in the
get
country.
I got
instead
two,
of
That's why.
I got two
Rejoice
sons
with
that are
Jesus.
millennials.
Yeah.
Look, I
And
got two
that's what
daughters who are
concerns me.
Christians.
See-
One won't talk to me. I'm not
Here's the first 6 years.
You're focusing on the wrong thing.
Well,
There's one thing that's important.
They got everything I had.
Well, then
The
they
first
got-
6
then-
years.
Then they got good seeds, so.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Because, let me ask you a question.
Be
Have
good.
you ever been going 80 miles an hour in a car, and the road is right here, but the trees are,
Yeah.
you don't even see the trees.
That was
The road is Jesus.
That was
Just focus on Jesus.
Yeah.
All this other